Alright, what's up everybody? It's your boy Zayence here, and we are back for another episode of the Fate Stay Night LP. Day 2 of 2. Fate Stay Night 3. Long day, long night, long dick style. Let's get right into this bitch. Literally, I'm in a fire. Collapsing buildings and burning people. No matter how far I run, the scenery is always red. This is a vision of 10 years ago, when I dropped my mixtape. A memory of the distant past I haven't remembered in a while. I run through it as if recreating the scene. There's no escaping even though I know it's a dream. I run, keep running! In the end, where I end up now is how I'm saved after running out of energy, after dropping that hot fire mixtape. Oh, I woke up. It was a dream. I wake up with a bad feeling. Maybe my mixtape won't sell this time. A feeling like a metal weight is inside my chest. I feel my forehead and find that I'm sweating a lot even though it's winter. It's already this late. It's already past 6 o'clock. From the kitchen I hear the sound of the kitchen knife cutting something. Sakura is really early, as usual. There's no time to be impressed. I have to get ready quickly and go help fix breakfast. Let's eat itadakimasu. That ass, boys. Well, I don't know, will I? Psych, it's my day off, and I think I'm gonna do something with Issei. Why the fuck do you ask? Me after dropping dimes on Fate Grand Order. XD. So sweet. Breakfast continues as usual. Today, along with the usual, there's simmered lotus root with chicken. Gosh, that sounds delicious. Fuck. I don't think she has to make anything this elaborate for breakfast, but I think she made a lot of it to take for lunch too. Sakura is a member of the archery club, and Fujine is in charge of the archery club. It's natural for them to share lunches. You know, I just noticed something. Actually, never mind. I don't want to fucking do the same spoiler I did in the first episode twice, so fuck it, just forget what I was gonna say, but I was gonna say I found something ironic. I'll just, if I remember this again, I'll just say it again during the Unlimited Blade Works route. Whatever. Oh yeah, Shiro, you were late this morning. Did something happen? Fujine looks at me sipping her miso soup. Oh. Jeez, she's usually so slow, but she gets sharp only at times like this. Nothing unusual, I'm relieved. Fujine ends the conversation like she's not interested. I'm not worried at all about it either, so I shouldn't get mad about it. 10 years ago, I used to have nightmares back when I couldn't get the fire out of my mind, but I saw less of it as time passed, and I'm well over it now that I can let it slide even after dreaming about it. But I guess it was pretty bad back then, since Fujine has been here since that time. She's sensitive to my change. Sakura's about to agree. Ooh. We make fun of each other without looking at each other. That proves my liveliness, and Fujine laughs with relief. To be honest, I'm glad she's worrying, but she'll be elated if I thank her. So I think so I act like I'm discontented. Not knowing the circumstances, Sakura looks puzzled at the way we're acting. Done on. Scene change. After Fujine leaves, we lock the house and leave. We are leaving. We have left.
今日の夜から月曜日までお手伝いに来れませんけどよろしいですか？
別にいいよ。だって土日だろ？さくらだって付き合いがあるんだから気にすることないぞ。
そんな違います。そういうんじゃないです。本当に個人的な用事でちゃんと部活にだって出るんですから。
I love how she actually feels bad. Like, I get that she actually has responsibilities to attend, but even if she was seeing friends right here, there would be nothing wrong with that. But I love how she's like, no, I would never put my friends over you, Shiro. Blah blah blah. She's sweet. She's sweet, man. But there would also be nothing wrong with that if you were. But it just shows you how sweet she is, man. Sakura is acting suspicious and she looks very tense. I don't know why, but I guess she just means she can't come over this weekend. But it's also a little sus in that sense. It'll make me happy if you do so. Sakura looks relieved. And when she looks down, her face suddenly stiffens. Sakura is staring at my left hand. Looking down at it, it's bleeding. I pull up my sleeve. There is certainly blood there. But it doesn't hurt at all. There's just a welt on there. The welt goes straight from my shoulder down to the hand, and it looks kind of like a small snake running from my shoulder to my hand. Don't worry, it ain't shit. Yes, if I say so. Okay, perhaps she's feeling bad from seeing the blood, as Sakura looks away and falls silent. I leave Sakura, who has... This low-key sounds like someone's chewing on something. I know it's the sound of people walking. Just listen. Like, I know you can tell it's people walking, but it also sounds like someone's chewing something. It's kind of awkward. This is such a minute detail, but this is a little awkward. The sound effect, it sounds like someone's chewing fucking gum or something. What the hell? Anyway, I leave Sakura's club activities and head to the school building. The schoolyard is full of spirited students running around. But still, there's something oddly wrong here. The school is like it always is. The students at morning practice are lively and the new school building is spotless. Maybe it's just my imagination. Kore. But when I close my eyes, the filter on this image has changed. The air completely changes. The school building is covered with stains like membranes. And students running around the schoolyard seem like empty dolls. It's the barrier. I shake my head to clear it. I head to the lifeless building. Okay. We are in the lifeless building. School ends on Saturdays. Class end before noon. And after I finish helping Issei, the sun is starting to set. I pack up and leave my classroom. And then... Douchebag McGee has arrived. Hello, Douchebag McGee. What brings your grotesque self here today? I bump into Shinji. He is quite ugly. There are a couple girls behind him, being rowdy. Thoughts?
やることもないくせにまだ残ってたの？ああ、そうか。また生徒会にごますってたわけね。いいね、ミヤは。部活なんてやんなくても内心稼げるんだからさ。
生徒会の手伝いじゃないぞ。学校の備品を直すのは生徒として当たり前だろ。使ってるのは俺たちなんだから。
よく言うよ。エミヤに言わせれば何だって当たり前だからね。
So you hate someone just being a good person, alright. Got it. I got it, Mr. Repulsive. Did he hit a nerve? Did he hit a nerve there? Sorry, I don't remember that. I thought that was just the sort of thing you say, so I didn't really want to say the stereotypical how dare you say that? Bacana! I'm repulsed! Fuck you, you peon! Yeah, lick my shoes. Fix everything at this school. You fucking bitch! A mob boy does not get mad. Don't let them know that you are mad, or better yet, just don't get mad. See, his kindness just pisses off a repugnant shitbag like this. It's fucking great. Oh, look at you, big guy, putting the work on him. Don't worry, he's gonna be the bigger man and do it, and that's gonna make you shit your trousers because you can't fucking make him mad. No matter what you do to him, you will not make him mad. You a bitch, bruh. You're trying to make Shiro your bitch, but you his bitch. Cause he never gonna get mad, dog. You ain't shit. You ain't shit. For everyone, I will say right now, fuck Shinji! There's a funk Shinji right there. Shut up, Thought. Be gone, ho. Do not speaketh in my presence, Shinji Thought. Shinji's thought followers, be gone from my presence. You have shit taste in men. You're a fucking outsider, you fucking Thought McGee nugget. The fuck is wrong with you? Bitch smells like rotten salsa verde, dog. I don't even know what the fuck that would smell like. What the hell? Banana head looking ass, no neck giraffe rig looking ass. They're getting rowdy behind Shinji. It seems there are no neck giraffe rig asses is being revealed. It seems they're in the archery club, but they mustn't be members Shinji recruited recently, as I don't know them. No, I don't mind at all. You look like a used W-rated tire, you fucking bitch. Alright. I don't think he would even be that. Shinji would probably be like an A-rated tire. Which, if you didn't know, as far as tire ratings, A can handle like, I don't know, 3 miles per hour or some shit. And some of the best tires you can get are Y-rated, and then like Z-rateds. Y-rateds can do 180 plus, and Z's can do 149, 150 plus, and this is in miles per hours. Anyway, the cleaning ends quite easily as I know the place well. It took a while as it was quite big, but it was fun cleaning the place. I used it until a year and a half ago. Pick up a bow, thinking it might be okay to shoot just once, but since it wasn't mine, I decided not to. If I ever want to, I can just bring my own bow and come here. Carbon fiber bow. Look at that, weight savings. Carbon-based bows are good, unlike wood and plastic-based wood, but the bows. And the biggest problem is the price, and they're not something we could buy with club budget. Yeah, that's obvious. Anything made of carbon is expensive. Well, I shouldn't say that. If I'm saying that, I'm saying like a pencil is fucking expensive because it has graphite in it, but you know what I mean, like carbon fiber or these carbon bows, this type of carbon product, or obviously stuff like diamonds are expensive. Back then, Shinji was the only one using it. Are the new members rich too? Well, I guess that's personal taste right there. When I look at the clock, it's way past curfew. It's a little after 7 o'clock. The gates should be closed by now, so there's no new reason to rush now. But still, was this dojo always this dirty? There are loads of fucking shit that look unkempt. I've started this, so I'll just finish the job. TikTok, the job has been finished. Bing bong, I am leaving. The wind is blowing. It's so cold that my cheeks are getting numb, and I'm not talking about the ones on my face. Fuyuki City isn't usually cold during the winter, but it is cold tonight of all nights. My breath hangs around as a white cloud, and I'm not talking about the actual clouds. I'm talking about these jewel clouds that just blew, bro! Right out the gravity bar. I'm sorry. I wrap up my body to hold off the cold. The moon's behind the clouds? Wow, Tsukihime. There's no light in the sky when I look up. Because of the strong winds, the clouds are moving fast. It's way past curfew, and there's no signs of life in the empty school. It seems this place is filled with only chill, and it's all silent. What the fuck? Is that? Homie, I think I hear something. I do hear something. It's coming from the school grounds. This night? Must have been curious about the sound that broke the silence. Also, my bad if you heard my phone buzzing. I just tossed it to my bed so you didn't hear it fucking buzzing on my table. But yeah. To investigate it, I find myself heading there, even though I somehow know I mustn't. And what do I find? I go to the schoolyard. People. Well, they only look like that from a distance. It's a dark night with no light. If I want to know more, I'll have to get closer to the schoolyard. I can hear the sounds louder. It's the sound of metal hitting metal. That must mean someone is touching tips. I'm just... Whoa, sorry. Slip of the tongue. They're fighting with weapons. That's stupid. What the hell? Bakabakashi. I dismiss the image from my mind with a bitter smile and walk on. At that time, maybe my instincts noticed the danger as I hid myself as I approached. I don't know if this is fortunate or not, but anyways... When I get by a tree that is big enough to hide myself, I take a closer look at the source of the sound. Pata! My mind stops completely. What the fuck? At this moment, Emiyashiro realized he'd done fucked up. There's something strange here. A man in red and a man in blue? They're dangerously armed, and as their ominous appearance suggests, they are actually slashing at each other. I can't understand. I can't follow them with my eyes. My brain does not work properly faced with their impossible movements. But the clang of their weapons tells me that they are trying to kill each other. Yes, there's no mistake of it. Blank. I just knew immediately when I saw them. They're not human. They're probably just things that look like humans. I can tell because not because I'm learning magic. No. Anyone would realize that they're not human. After all, humans can't move like that. So they are something no one should associate with. And it's not Shinji this time. I can feel their murderous intent even from a distance. I'm going to die. I'm going to fucking die. My body understands faster than my brain that I will definitely fucking die if I stay here. Why am I still staying here? That's why my heart is racing so fast. As a living thing like them, I sense that they're living things made only to kill. Blank. They're using weapons made only to kill. I remember the murder yesterday. They said the family was killed with some weapon, like a sword. Huh? I shouldn't watch any longer. Well, my body won't follow my commands, and I can't even breathe. My mind wants to run away, but my judgment tells me I'll be seen the moment I run away. More than the conflict within me, my body is just numb. My body. Even though I'm over 40 meters away, I can't breathe properly, and it's like I have a spear pointed right at my back. And then, the sounds stop. The figures separate and standing facing each other. The moment I feel relief at the end of their battle, I sense an even stronger intention to kill. Oh no. My heart stops. The numbness in my body becomes convulsions and I clench my teeth trying to hold my trembling body. Bakana! An overwhelming amount of magical energy is flowing into the guy in blue. Kiritsugu showed me once what it's like to draw in magical energy from the surroundings. It was a beautiful magic that impressed even an amateur like me, but that thing is different. Just as even the simple task of drinking water could seem ugly if it goes too far, what he is doing is so excessive that anyone with knowledge of magical energy would hate it. Boom, boom. He's going to die. The guy in red is going to die. It's a blow with that much concentrated magical energy. There's no way he'll be able to survive it. The gay bulge will fuck him. He will die. He's not human, so something merely like a human will die. That is. That's something I can just ignore? No. That doubt takes my mind off of them. The binds on my body disappear in the instant I take a deep breath. Who's there? Oh fuck. The guy in blue stares at me who's hiding. The blue guy's body sinks. Just that motion tells me that I'm his target now. My legs start running automatically. I finally realize that it is an action to escape death, and I put all the energy in my body into running away. I don't know how fast I could run, but I bet you it's fast as fuck, boy. But before I know it, I'm in the school building. How stupid of me. I've cornered myself. Baka no! He actually said it this time. I regret my actions, panting heavily. I should have run into town to get away. What am I doing fleeing into such a deserted place? And a school of all things, isn't there a better place to hide than here? Anyways, why do I think I'll be killed if I don't escape? My heart aches from running so much. Turning around, I can sense nothing pursuing me. The only sound in the air is the sound of my footsteps. So I can finally rest. But no, I can't. I stop my feet, unable to take another step, send oxygen to my pumping heart, and look up to finally realize that I am safe. I recall the scene from earlier, while catching my breath. Anyway, I'm sure that it wasn't something I should have seen. Some things like humans were fighting in the school grounds, that's all I can remember. But there was something else I saw out of the corner of my eye. Wasn't there someone else too? But I can't remember what that figure looked like. To be honest, I didn't have the composure to notice anything other than those two fighting. Fuck it. Psych! Motherfucker, you ain't safe! The voice comes from the right in front of me. Yo, your time is up, boy. You done fucked up. You do the crime, you're gonna do the time. And the time is death. I can't breathe. My brain stops even though I cannot think. I vaguely understand that I am going to die. Die. The lance is casually raised. Boom. Skewered like a cholo kebab on Charshambasuri. Bet. And the man's lance mercilessly pierces Amyashiro's heart. The Ada Noru's dinner has been prepared. Alright, I'm kidding, but there wasn't even time to dodge it. All the training I did was for nothing. I knew I was going to be killed. I knew I was going to be pierced by that lance, yet I could not move at all. The world distorts. My body grows cold. Feeling vanishes from my fingertips. I cough up blood once. More blood should have come up, but it only happens once. Perhaps the man's lance is special. The blood slowly clots the heart that should have exploded. Stops working. With just a single pierce. That's a cursed lance. I can't see well. There's no feeling in me. I feel like a jellyfish floating in the dark sea at night. I don't feel any pain already. The world is white and I am black. So rather than feeling like I'm dead, it's more like the world around me has disappeared. I know this. I felt this 10 years ago. This is how someone feels when dying. I cannot concentrate on my vision. I can only hear voices. A voice filled with irritation, and after that, I hear footsteps running through the hallway. The voice suddenly disappears. I guess he jumped out of a window or something. And after that, footsteps approach me and stop. In that brief period, more footsteps. I can't hear much now. Whose voice was that? I concentrate my fading mind, but I can't remember anything. Right now, my breathing is too noisy. My lungs must still be alive. The air coming out of my mouth is as loud as a hurricane. I sense someone looking at my face. Perhaps my breathing was loud, as the figure tries to close my mouth and... I hear the person grit their teeth and they touch me without hesitation. A pain-filled voice. With that, my mind stops fading. Feeling returns to my body. Slowly, bit by bit, like a drop of water going down a leaf, feeling returns to my body. What is the person doing? The person is sweating and places their hand on my chest with all their heart. When I notice the place where the person placed their hand is terribly hot. It must be so hot that the frozen blood melted and started to flow again. I sense someone take a deep breath and sit down. I hear a clang of something falling. Nah, you got a heart of steel and gold for what you did here. And that's it. The person speaks to mock themselves and leaves. My heart resumes its activity, and then my mind stops. This is not the sleep of death. This is a restful place, sleep, to recover the energy to wake up again. Okay. I wake up. I feel sick, my whole body is in pain, and I have a sharp headache each time my heart throbs. You almost died, friend. I can't remember because of the sharp headache. My body is cold, probably from lying on the floor for a long time. The only certain thing is my ripped uniform, my own blood on the floor. I get up with a hazy head. The spot where I was lying looks like a murder scene. Because it was a murder scene. You dodged death, thanks to Tosaka Lean. Had my chest been pierced? Gah. My man's cheated death, that's what's up. OOLIN. Bearing the pain, I enter the closet classroom. Moving to the locker with unsteady steps, I take out a mop and a bucket. This man is so nice, he almost gets murdered. And he still cleans up after himself, his own blood that was spilled by someone skewering him. He fucking cleans that shit so no one has to walk in and see that. Man, I would have just fucking went home. I'm not cleaning shit. I have a fucking hole in my chest. What the fuck? Man, Shio is too nice of a person. That's crazy. I'm still confused. Why do I still think I have to clean up when I've just met something totally outrageous and been killed instantly? Am I an idiot? Yes! But it's entertaining. Dude, who fucking cares? Go home! I wiped the floor with the mop. With unsteady hands, I managed to get the blood wiped off and pick up any trash lying around and put it into my pocket. Maybe I'm destroying the evidence. I'm still in a daze, so perhaps that's why I'm doing something so absurd. That cough was kind of fitting there. I put the mop back and bucket. I put back the mop and bucket and leave the school like a zombie. I get hotter as I walk. The air is so cold, but it feels like my body is burning. My body. It's a chill beat. And I'm inside my room. Well, time to fap. I'm home after a long day. I kinda need it after all this. Alright. Where the fuck is the Pornhub? When I get home, the day has already changed. There's no one home. Neither Fujine nor Sakura around now. Ah, ha ha ha. I collapse to the floor. I lie on the ground and finally calm down. I take a deep breath. When I inhale, my heart cries in pain as if cracking apart. No, that's wrong. It wasn't just cracked. It had a hole in it. But it healed and the wounds tried to open up again. When I inhale... No, that's wrong too. I wasn't almost killed. I was actually killed. But I'm still alive in spite of that. Because someone saved me. Since the person was there, that person might have something to do with them. But that makes no difference to the fact that the person saved me. I have to thank them one of these days. Fuck thanking for now. I gotta fucking sleep. The moment I let my guard down, the pain returns. At the same time, I feel like vomiting. I sit up and resist the sickness. I placed my hand on my bare chest where the uniform was ripped. Even though I was saved, I did have a hole in my chest. That feeling, such an unpleasant feeling, a spearhead entering my body, isn't something I can forget easily. If I close my eyes, it feels like the lance is still in me. I shake off that illusion and try to calm down. The result of all that training every night, just taking a few deep breaths clears my mind, and the heat and nausea vanish from my body. The man in blue and the man in red, they looked human, but I don't think they were. Were they like ghosts or something? But I've never heard of ghosts with form able to associate directly with people. And they were talking too. As if they have their own will, it's hard for me to think of them as ghosts. I've heard that the only ghosts with a body are spirits, but aren't they shaped differently from humans? There's another fundamental problem. Those two were killing each other. Who were? The murderous burglar that has appeared in the neighborhood. The ongoing ominous events in Fuyuki City. Illuminati confirmed. All I can tell is with such thoughts is that it's way out of my league. Perhaps because the wound on my chest is so vivid, I can complain about things I shouldn't. Complaining comes later. First I have to decide whether or not it's my concern. The bell hung from the ceiling rings. This is a Mudget's house, even if only a poor one. There is a boundary field that alerts me when a stranger enters the property. As I speak, I realize my foolishness. That can't be it. With this timing, right after that strange incident, that can't be it. There's an intruder. Not a burglar, but an assassin who's here for my life. Because I remember that guy saying, "You saw us, so die." The house is filled with silence. In the silent darkness, the murderous intent I felt at school is slowly drawing closer. My throat gulps. I feel a sharp chill running down my spine. I will be instantly pierced if I move from this room. I frantically contain the scream about to escape my mouth. The instant I release it, the assassin will happily lump in and take the opportunity to kill me. If that happens, it will be just like before. Unprepared, I will be pierced by that lance again. The moment I think about it, my breathing goes wild. Damn it! I'm ashamed that I'm about to give up my life. My saved life so easily that I'm afraid. Gritting my teeth and holding my chest, I try to restrain myself. I should get used to it. This is the second time. I'm about to get killed. That alone is enough to make me want to end it differently from last time. Besides, I'm a Majits. What have I been learning for the past 8 years if I can't even protect my own life? Today's on. Enough thinking. Right now I have to encounter the intruder. Weapon time, boys. Even though I'm a Majits, all I can do is strengthening. Something that could be a weapon. To fight, I need a weapon. The shed has lots of things that could become weapons, but it's too far away. If I'm attacked when I leave the living room, it will just be a repeat of what happened earlier. It'll be difficult, but I have to find a weapon here. Something long and thin would be best. My opponent's weapon is a lance, so something like a knife won't do. It won't be great if there was a wooden spoon or something. It would be great. But of course there's nothing. If anything here could be a weapon, it's... I'm disappointed, but despite that I'm determined, even if in this hopeless situation. Things are already as bad as they can be, so they can't get any worse. So all I have to do is run forward until I run out of energy. With the words I suggest, my reconstruction, I channel magical energy into the 60 centimeter long poster. I have to turn it into something that can repel that lance, so I need to channel magical energy into every corner and solidify it. Basic quality. Analyze. I extend my consciousness. As if soaking my blood into the poster through my skin, I permeate magical energy into it. Basic quality. Reinforce. A sense that I've hit the bottom, right before the magical energy overflows from it. Trace. Off. I cut off all connection with the poster and shuddered at that feeling of success. The poster is now as hard as metal, but it is as light as it was before, so I couldn't ask for a better sword. I fucking did it. How many times has it been since I last succeeded the strengthening magic? It's kind of ironic. The magic I've never been able to achieve since Kiritsugu died is finally working in this kind of situation. I'm fucking clutch as shit. I might be able to do something. I have some knowledge of how to use a sword. Hold on. I hold the poster with both hands and stand up. I'll die anyway if I stay here, and I don't think I would be able to flee even if I escape this house, so all I can do is run straight to the shed and make a stronger weapon. Phew. Come if you're going to come. It won't be like before, and the instant I think that, my whole spine shivers. When did he arrive? Appearing from the ceiling, the guy drops straight at me. Silver light descends upon me. The guy that seemed to have come straight through the ceiling descends to pierce my head. I frantically escape by rolling forward. He lands softly while I keep rolling, but I stop rolling and stand with my freshly made sword in hand. He turns to face me looking bored. He raises his lance again, seemingly uninterested. I don't know why, but he lacks the spirit he had at the school ground. In that case, I might be able to outwit him. That man is complaining as if he thinks nothing of me. I slowly move backwards. It's about 3 more meters to the window. Once out the window, it's about 20 meters to the shed. Then I can run off this instant. He says blankly, as if sighing it out. Pain assails my right arm. It happened in an instant. The man's lance is thrust without time for me to react. I would have faced my second death with that blow, but what prevented it is my newly made sword. He must have thought it was just paper. The lance thrust, as if the poster wasn't there, was deflected by it, and only skimming my right arm. The man's expression goes away. His carelessness disappears, and now he's staring at me with beast-like eyes. I screwed up. I was being stupidly optimistic when I thought I could do something. The thing before me is a monster beyond belief. Painfully, I realize my foolishness for letting my guard down, even slightly, against him. That's right. If I had been really desperate, I should have ran frantically to the window as soon as I miraculously avoided his first attack. He points his lance at me. I won't be able to block it. I can't possibly block that lightning-fast blow. If his weapon were a sword, I might have been able to at least prepare for it. But that's a lance. A sword follows a line, but a lance has a point. How am I supposed to block a blow from a point that I can't even see coming? The man's body descends. In that instant, his lance is swung sideways. Okay, this music is badass. Holy shit. I blocked the lance coming at my face with just my instincts. There's a huge whirlwind. I don't know how he's moving the lance in this small room, but it makes a beautiful arc and comes to attack my body from the underside. My constructed sword moved to stop it, bends. Is he using a hammer? Damn, this numbness feels like I've broken the bones in my arm! I swing the sword instinctively. He must take me lightly as he hasn't pulled back his lance, so I flick away the shaft with my sword. The arms that hit it go numb. The sword bends even more, and the man's lance only moves slightly. The man was just playing with me. He let me hit him once since I blocked him twice, but I used up my one and only chance for just a makeshift attack. That's why he sees no point in fighting with me anymore. He readies his lance again. During that small unnecessary movement, without looking behind me, I jump out the window. I break the window with my back and roll outside. I roll a few times, get up, and without a thought, I turn back and swing behind me. The man hesitates a moment as I deflected his lance thrust. As I expected, if I jumped out the window, he would definitely come after me. And he would kill me even before I could get up. And that's why I expected the fatal blow and swung at it. It was a bold plan. I would have died if it was a second too late or a second too early. And considering the difference in our skill, I could have never been too early. So all I had to do was get up as fast as possible and swing at what was coming behind me. The result was perfect. I won my bet and deflected the man's lance. I quickly regained my balance. Now I have to make it to the shed before he recovers. The man who supposedly had his lance knocked away comes up to me, empty-handed, and spins and executes a roundhouse kick. The scenery flies past me. My battered chest is numb and I cannot breathe. No, what's more surprising is I'm flying. I never in my dreams thought that I would be sent flying by a mere roundhouse kick. I fall into the ground from my back. I hit a wall and come crashing down. I can't breathe. My vision is blurred. I manage to stand, supporting myself against the wall of my destination, the shed. I track the man with my blurry vision. I must have been kicked 20 meters. The man approaches, lance in hand. I'll be killed. I'll definitely be killed. The man will be here in a second. If I don't want to die now, I have to get up and face him. The lance comes out at me. I can't even fully turn around, and my collapsing body faces the man's lance. How fortunate. I got lucky as I couldn't hold myself up and my knees collapsed. The lance goes over my head and it hits the door of the shed, opening it. So this is my last chance. If I go to the shed, there could be something that I could use as a weapon. I enter the shed on all fours. There. A fatal, inescapable blow is thrust. And I block it. I unroll the poster and make it into a one-time shield. A huge impact. The opened-up poster did block the lance, but it was not strong enough. It pierced through and transforms back into its original paper. Hit by the impact of the thrust lance, I'm flung to the wall. I fall on my butt and recover myself. When I raise my head to try to find the weapon, a man is pointing the lance at me. This is it. The man's lance is pointed directly at my heart. I know this is. This is the smell of death I just felt a few hours ago. But I don't understand. Good point. I can't hear him. My mind is focused only on the weapon in front of me. It's only natural, because I'll die when that thing is thrust, so everything else is going from my mind. What else can I think about now that things have ended up like this? The man's arm moves. The movement I couldn't even see before looks like it's in slow motion now. The running silver light. The spearhead moves straight for my heart. It will spill blood in the next second. I know this feeling, the feeling of metal running into me. Running in me? The feeling of metal running in me. I think it should just be into me, but whatever. The taste of blood coming up my throat. Running into it. Yeah, no. Alright, whatever. The sense of the world running around me is disappearing. I felt all of it earlier. And I have to experience it again? Really? I don't understand. Why do I have to go through this? This is bullshit. I can't accept this. I can't just die here meaninglessly. I was saved, so I can't die so easily. I have to live and fulfill my obligations. If I die, I can't do that. But the lance will pierce me. The spearhead will cut into my flesh and pierce my heart. It pisses me off. It's ridiculous to kill someone that easily. It's ridiculous for me to die so easily. Dying twice in one day, that's ridiculous as well. Damn, everything is so screwed up that I can't contain it all, and... I won't be killed so meaninglessly by someone like you! truly it, appeared like magic. In a blinding light, it appears from behind me. My mind stops. All I know is that the figure who appeared is a girl. The moment it appears, it repels the lance thrust at my heart and steps up to the enemy without hesitation. The man readies his deflected lance, and the girl swings something she is holding. Sparks fly twice. A strong swing. The man hesitates, receiving a heavy blow from the girl. He must have realized he is at a disadvantage, as he jumps out of the shed with bestial speed. While keeping her guard up against the man, she quietly turns to me. The wind is strong today. The clouds drift and the moon appears for a brief moment. The silver light that shines into the shed lights up the girl in knightly form. I'm speechless, not because I'm confused by the sudden turn of events. I'm at a loss for words because of this girl's overwhelming beauty. The girl stares at me emotionlessly, like her jewel-like eyes. She says in a valiant voice. I only repeat back her words. I don't know who she is or what she's talking about. All I know is that this small girl is the same kind of being as the man outside. The girl says nothing and just stares at me silently. How can I put this? The figure in front of me is so special that I forget the situation that the man outside could come back and attack at any second. It feels like time has stopped just around me. The fear of death has disappeared and the only girl fills my vision.
Servant to Saber. 召喚に従い参上した。マスター、指示を。
She speaks again. The instant I hear the words master and servant, the pain shoots through my left hand. It's like a hot iron has been placed on my hand. I grab my left hand instinctively. That must have been the signal, as the girl quietly nods her lovely face. Even I have some knowledge of magic. I understand what that word means. But that girl doesn't answer me and looks away with the same grace she had when she nodded. She looks at the door of the shed. There stands the man, his lance ready in his hand. She moves faster than I can think. The knightly girl leaps out of the shed without hesitation. I get up and follow the girl, even forgetting the pain in my body. There is no way that girl will be a match for him. Even armored like that, she is a girl, smaller than me. And yet, my words are silenced by the sound. What? I can't believe my eyes. This time my head really goes blank. The sound of weapons. The moon is hidden behind the clouds and the yard is returned to its original darkness. In it, sparks are born from steel hitting steel. The lance-wielding man wordlessly attacks the girl who jumped out of the shed. But the girl parries the blow of the lance and knocks away all the following attacks, driving the man with every blow. I can't believe it. The girl called Saber is overpowering that man. The battle has begun. What happened between me and him earlier wasn't a battle. A battle is a fight between two people who can kill each other. Whatever the difference in skills, if each has a way to kill the other, then you can call it a battle. Their fight is a battle in that sense too. The man's lance that I couldn't even see is thrown with even more power. But The girl parries it with the thing in her hands and closes in on the man. Damn. The man repeats a bit. He holds his lance vertically to protect his ribs as the girl goes for them. For a moment, the man's lance glows. It was a blow like an explosion, and I guess it really was one. The instant the man blocks the thing the girl's holding, the lance in his hands glows as if electrified. The man, and even I, can tell what that is. That is a force of magical energy so strong that it's visible. In each of the girl's blows is a terrible amount of magical energy. The outrageous amount of magical energy is penetrating the opponent's weapon just by touching it. Such a thing, it would take such force just to block it. If you think of the man's lance as an accurate sniper rifle, the blows of the girl are like those of a powerful shotgun. Every time the girl swings, the yard is filled with light. But that isn't what's overpowering the man. The man complains while avoiding the girl's fierce attacks. The girl doesn't answer, but only attacks even more with the thing in her hand. The man retreats with not even a chance for a counterattack, because the girl's weapon is invisible. As he cannot sense her range, it would be careless to attack recklessly. Yes, it is invisible. The girl definitely has something in her hand, but as you can't see what shape it is nor how long it is, you can't tell anything about it. Perhaps it's totally invisible, as it does not show up even when sparks fly off of it from it. Damn. The man must be having a hard time defending against it, as his moves aren't as sharp. And the girl lets out a voice for the first time. She swings her weapon with more fury. A storm of swings without pause. The flying sparks remind me of a blacksmith hitting iron. The lance-wielding man blocks them, clucking his tongue. I must say I admire his skills, even though he tried to kill me. The man is blocking invisible blows, watching only the opponent's legs and arms. But that's it. You only need to beat down someone who's gone defensive. As if to say so, the girl steps even closer to the man and delivers a blow with all her might, as if smashing him down. He must see this as his opportunity as the man disappears. No, he jumped back, making it look like he disappeared. The girl's blow cuts through the air and destroys the ground, kicking up dust. The blow swung as a final one was easily dodged. I can tell even from a distance. I don't know about the careful blows from before, but such a big blow won't be able to touch that man. Even that man's body must have been straining under all those attacks, but he suppressed it for an instant and jumped away, as if this blow will determine the victor. The man who jumped back several meters jumped as soon as he lands. As if reversing his retreat, he jumps at the girl. In contrast, the girl still has her sword in the ground. That opening is irrevocable. The red lance turns in less than a second, and the girl twists her body with the sword still in the ground. So the contest lasts less than a second. The man sees his mistake and tries to hold back, while the girl uses her whole body to execute her blow. The man blown away and the girl who blew him away both seem discontent. They launched their blows to kill each other. Even if they allowed them to escape immediate danger, they were worthless. Their distance opens. The two stare at each other silently. The man glares as if staring right into her heart. Who knows? That's badass. Perhaps it's really funny for him. The man, the one called Lancer, lowers his lance. It looks like he's indicating that he doesn't want to fight anymore. The girl is puzzled by Lancer's action, but I know that stance. It was used in that fight a few hours ago in the schoolyard. It's the fatal move that was supposed to have ended the show. Nah, shit, I skipped part of it. Okay.
悪い話じゃないだろ。そら、あそこでほうけているお前のマスターは使い物にならんし、俺のマスターとて姿を晒せねえ大ふぬけときた。ここはお互い万全の状態になるまで勝負を持ち越した方が好ましいんだが。
断る。あなたはここで倒れろ、ランサー。
そうかよ。たく、こっちはもともと様子見が目的だったんだぜ。サーバントが出たとあっちゃ、長居する気はなかったんだが。
It seems like the air around them distorted. Lancer lowers his stance. A chill runs through the air at that moment. It's exactly like back then. The magical energy rumbles in a whirlpool centered on that lance. The girl readies her apparent sword and glares at the enemy in front of her. The girl facing the enemy knows better than I how dangerous he is. Dude, that's a badass quote. That's the gay bold quote. Take that heart of yours. The beast jumps. Lancer instantly appears in front of the girl as if he teleported and thrusts his lance at the girl's feet. It was a bad move, even to my eyes. With the lance already lowered, it wouldn't have been effective to aim low at the girl. To prove my point, the girl jumps over the lance and moves forward to slash Lancer away. At that moment, with the words themselves charged with magical energy. The lance thrust at the girl's feet rushes towards her heart. Her body rises into the air. The girl is driven up into the air by the blow of the lance, and she crashes down. No, lands on the ground. She's bleeding. The girl who hasn't even received a scratch so far is bleeding badly from her chest. I'm surprised too. No, since I saw it from a distance, I can tell better than her that the attack just now was a strange one. The lance was definitely aimed at her feet, but it suddenly changed its course strangely in an impossible direction and pierced the girl's heart. But the lance itself has not grown or bent. It looked so natural that it makes one think that the lance was already in her heart, and for that reason it's strange. It's not as simple as the lance changing its course and piercing her heart. The lance did not change its course, but changed the means so that the result would be so. The lance thrust with that name carried the result of piercing her heart as a premise. In other words, the process and the result were reversed. As long as there was the result of the lance piercing her heart, the course of the lance was merely something added later to prove that fact. An evil thorn that breaks through all defenses. A lance that pierces the heart every time it's used, a weapon that determines your fate just by its use. How can anyone block such a ridiculous attack? However the enemy tries to dodge it, the lance will pierce their heart without fail. That's why this move is fatal. A cursed lance that always pierces the opponent in one thrust. But the girl has evaded it by a small margin. She is wounded, but it is not a fatal wound. A fatal blow. In a sense, her actions were more impossible than the lance. The instant the lance was thrust, she turned and jumped back with all her might, as if she knew this was going to happen. Either she had incredible luck or enough divine protection to nullify the curse of the lance. Either way, she avoided a fatal blow and sullied the lance's name. The girl catches her breath. The blood that was running so much has stopped, and even her stabbed wound is healing. I guess that's extraordinary. I knew she wasn't normal, but still, that's too strange. Like her skill to fight against Lancer, like the incredible magical energy in her blows, and like her body that heals by itself, that girl clearly surpasses Lancer. But that was only up to now. Even if it's healing, her wound is deep. If Lancer attacks her now, she'll be defeated without even being able to defend herself. But with this overwhelming advantage, Lancer doesn't move. He glares at the girl, grinding his teeth so hard that I can hear it. A voice that seems to echo from the ground. Lancer frowns. His hostility disappears and he clucks his tongue in annoyance. The pressure goes away. Lancer doesn't even attack the wounded girl and simply turns his back and moves to the edge of the yard. With one bound, Lancer easily jumps over the wall and disappears. The wounded girl starts running to pursue the enemy. I run through the yard with all my strength. The girl will go after him if I don't stop her instantly. But there was no need for that. When the girl tries to jump over the wall, she clenches her fist, her chest, and stops. Gah! I run to her and stare at her. No, I tried to approach her, to call out to her, but I forget about it the instant I come near her. To put it simply, everything about her is absurd. Now that I'm near her, I can tell that the shining armor she wears is really heavy. The old-fashioned cloth is smooth, a vivid blue. No, that isn't what fascinates me. The girl, who seems to be a few years younger than me, is beautiful. The golden hair lit by the moonlight is finely textured, as if sprinkled in with gold dust. The face, with some sigh of naivety, has elegance, and her white skin looks soft. I can't call out to her because I'm fascinated by her beauty, and also for another reason. Because seeing the girl fighting and getting hurt somehow made me mad. All the while I'm fascinated with her, the girl has her hand on her chest, but that ends quickly. The girl lets her chest go and looks up as if the pain has gone away. She stares directly at me. I'm not sure how I should talk to her, but I noticed something about her. Even though it missed her heart, that lance stabbed her in the chest, but she's unscathed. I've heard of healing magics, but I didn't see her using anything like that. So that must mean she automatically heals even when she is wounded. Then my brain switches gear. Oh. This is no time to be fascinated by her. She is a strange being. I can't let my guard down until I know what she is. I take half a step back and ask her.
Saberのサーバントです。あなたが私を呼び出したのですから、確認をするまでもないでしょう。
セイバーのサーバント。
はい。ですから私のことはセーバーと。
She replies without hesitation. Her tone is polite yet gentle, and just hearing it makes my head go blank. Hey, what am I getting excited about? I hide my burning face with my hand and reply really stupidly, I don't know what else to say. I wouldn't know of any such thing to say, Since I asked her name, isn't it natural for me to for her to introduce herself? In that case, it would be impolite to stay silent like this. What am I doing? Are my answers getting stupider? But she told me her name, so I should answer too. I know I'm confused right now, but I have to be polite no matter who she is. The girl Saber just stares at me without changing her expression.
分かっています。あなたは正規のマスターではないのですね。しかし、それでもあなたは私のマスターです。契約を交わした以上、あなたを裏切りはしない。そのように警戒する必要はありません。
Crap. I can hear her words, but they made no sense to me. All I know is that she's calling me with a ridiculous word like master.
俺マスターなんて名前じゃないぞ。
それでは素人。ええ。私としてはこの発音の方が好ましい。
As soon as she says my name, I think my face lit up on fire. Shouldn't you call me someone by their last name on a first meeting?
ちょっと待て。なんだってそっちの方。
Boom. Pain suddenly runs through my left hand. The back of my hand is burning. My hand feels like it's in a fire, and on it is a strange mark that looks like a tattoo. What the? I've been branded!
それは令樹と呼ばれるものです、シロ。私たちサーバントを律する3つの命令権であり、マスターとしての命でもある。むやみな使用は避けるように。
Before I can finish with, are you? The area around her changes. She speaks in a cold voice. It seems her attention is on something far away behind the wall, and not on me. Saber frowns a bit. I think I said something really wrong there.
ではこのままで臨みます。自動修復は顔面を覆っただけですが、あと一度の戦闘ならば支障はないでしょう。
あと一度ってな。
外の敵は2人。この程度の重圧なら数秒で倒し得る相手です。
Saying so, Saber jumps lightly. Just like Lancer, she leaps over the wall and disappears outside. I'm left alone in the yard. As soon as I say it out loud, I realize what it means. My body starts to move. Without thinking, I run to the gate with full force. I run into the gate, unlock it with trembling hands, and jump outside. I search through the dark. The moon is hidden, now of all times, and it is completely dark. Not Tsukihime. But I hear something nearby. I run to the small road with no sign of anyone on it. It happens in an instant. Saber is confronting a familiar guy in red. Saber runs at the man in red without hesitation, takes his guard down with one blow and easily slashes the man in red. Saber raises her arm to finish her off, but right before the man in red slashed, he disappears as a powerful magic is cast. Saber doesn't stop. She dashes to the person behind the man in red and easily cuts off the large spell the person launches. What the? I knew she was strong, but this is overwhelming. That spell right now was at the level of intervention magic that I cannot even compare with. Father could use one as strong as that, but to cast a natural intervention of that power instantly, I don't even think a first-class Mudgets could do so. But Saber nullified even that magic, master-class magic. The enemy must be a Mudgets, as the match is decided right there. The Mudgets' attacks are no use against Saber, and she mercilessly attacks the Mudgets. A sound of someone falling backwards. The Mudgets miraculously dodge Saber's blow, but the enemy now cannot move. Saber corners the enemy and points her invisible sword. My mind freezes, probably because the moon lights up the scene for an instant. I can tell that the figure is pointing at it. Saber is pointing at is human. I can't tell who it is, but the image of Saber killing someone and getting splattered with blood pops into my head. Saber moves. She will pierce the enemy's throat with the thing in her hand. I scream as loud as I can. Her sword stops. Thank God, I can't see her sword. The end of her invisible sword isn't wet with the enemy's blood. I address her, glaring, preparing myself to do my best to stop her. No, Saber has no intention of stopping. She only stopped because I said so, and she is ready to bring her sword down at any time. Saber doesn't answer. She only stares at me in silence. Saber is silent. Still pointing her sword at the fallen enemy, she looks down at me discontently. Not hurting anyone unnecessarily. Well, it is true that we should avoid fights as much as possible, but I'm not so good-natured as to release someone who came to attack me. Saber looks dumbfounded, as if taken back. How long were we standing like that? The figure on the ground suddenly speaks. Saber suddenly concentrates her attack on her sword. Saber grits her teeth. But Saber lowers her sword and relaxes. Saber's hostility disappears, so she must have put away her sword as well. The one on the ground stands up. She looks shameless, brushing her rear. Of course she is. Hey, wait a second. That sulky person is definitely— what? Konbanwa, Emiya-kun. I feel like that's like a trademark quote of hers. She says that in the anime too when she encounters him here. And I always remembered that for some reason and associated it with her. Tosaka Rin replies with a big smile. That gets me. If she greets me normally like that, everything that happened up to now seems like a dream, and no, my head's about to explode. Jeez, how easy would things be if it did? When she replies clearly like that, it makes me seem stupid for asking. So saying, she walks toward the entrance. And then, she turns, and the smile on her face isn't like the previous one.
ちなみに今がその時だと分かって。
She glares at me.
分かればよろしい。それじゃあ行こっか。エミヤ君のお家にね。
Tosaka goes through the gate. She's really pissed. It's only natural. She had a sword pointed at her until now, and she was almost killed. Is it just my imagination, or is she totally unlike how she seems at school? So I'm in a strange situation. In front of me is the school's #1 idol, whom I admire, Tosaka Rin, and following silently behind me is Saber, who calls herself a servant. Oh, the hallway suddenly feels like a different dimension, but I can't be a coward and forever. I'm a Mudgets, even if I am just an amateur. Tosaka Rin, a Mudgets just like me, is acting so fearlessly, so I have to act firmly too. But I can only work out a few things. First, about Saber, who's following me. I am sure that she's some kind of familiar, because she calls me Master, and I've made a contract with her. I hear that a familiar is some kind of an assistant for a Mudgets. Most Magi transfer part of their body into something and summon it as another self. For the other self, a Mudgets usually uses a small animal. That's simply because it's easy to take over the mind of something like a cat or a dog. Some Magi use a human as their familiar, but they need enough magical energy to restrain a human at all times, if they do such a thing. But if one constantly uses enough magical energy to control someone, it would take most of the Mudgets' magical energy to sustain the familiar. But that'd be putting the cart before the horse. The familiar is something that assists the Mudgets. To reduce the burden on the Mudgets, it is commonly accepted that small animals are most suitable. So I've been taught, but... Saber looks human no matter how you look at her, and she is clearly superior to me, her master. I don't have the magical energy to control such a person, and more than that, I don't have the magic circuit to summon a familiar. So Saber must be something rather unlike a familiar. So she said she is a servant. I don't know what that is, but I think the man called Lancer and the man in the red with Tosaka were the same thing. Then it must be that Tosaka is also called a master. I just saw her magic skills. If I am worth half a Mudgets, she is clearly worth about 3 Magi. Though of course, there is no point in comparing me to other Magi, when I can only use the strengthening magic. Anyway, Tosaka is an amazing Mudgets. In any spiritually superior land is a family of Magi that looks after that land. The Emiya family only came to this land in Kiritsugu's generation, so we're just strangers. That's why I didn't know that Tosaka were Magi. The Tosakas. And I don't think Tosaka knew that the Emiyas were a family of Magi either. There are several Magi in this town that I don't know about. If Lancer is the familiar of another Mudgets in this town, then does it mean I'm stuck in that I stuck my head into a conflict between Magi? Somewhat, yeah. Saying so, Tosaka goes into the living room. Let's stop thinking for now. Let's just listen to Tosaka's story. I turn the lights on. Alright guys, I'm gonna go get a drink of water real quick though, because I am super thirsty and I need like a little break, so I will be right back in a sec. Alright, I'm back, and that was a long water break. I actually went to sleep, so this is the next day now. I made a save state, and we have loaded it right up, and let's get right into it. I turned the lights on, it's already past 1 in the morning, and I am fully energized. It's actually 8:02 a.m. on the 10th. Oh, it's so cold. What's this? The windows are broken. Oh, I couldn't fucking help it. I was attacked by that Lancer guy. I was just desperate. Desperate. Kinda. I tried to fight him, but he kicked my fucking ass. Let's just put it that way. Maybe I am. You got a problem with that? Tosaka Rin-chan walks over to the broken window. Tosaka takes a piece of the shattered glass, takes a look at it, and says badass German words. She cuts the tip of her finger and puts a drop of her blood onto the glass. What kind of magic is this? The shattered glass combines on its own and restores itself in a matter of seconds. Tosaka, that was... Just a small demonstration. It won't be enough to repay me, of course, for you saving me. But I have at least to do this much, because I'm Tosaka Rin. Well, I'm sure you would have fixed it even if I hadn't. But that's just a waste of magical energy, right? All I really have to do is replace the window, but we don't want to talk in this cold, do we? Hell no. She says as if it's so natural. What a fucking god-rated mudgets. But needless to say, her skills are beyond my understanding. I'm a fucking scrub, so I'm glad you fixed it. I can't even comprehend doing that shit. It's elementary to a skilled mudgets from a high-ranking elite bloodline like you, but for Shiro, you gotta understand, it's not so elementary. Tosaka freezes. Damn it seems I've said something I shouldn't have. I've revealed that I'm a scrub. Dang straight! Nope. Only workshop I have is fucking woodshop, bitch. Well, I do have that shed as my training area, but I think Tosaka would get mad if I called that my workshop. Yeah, it's the Boof Ghetto workshop. What the fuck is a pass? Is that my passport, homie? Hey man, I ain't know shit. I honestly admit that I don't know. Wow, that's scary. She's so beautiful usually, but she looks pretty scary now. I have no sympathy for scrubs. So basically you're a scrub. Nope. Fuck no. Tosaka glares at me. Probably not. Her glare makes my answer vague. Why did Saber get summoned by a fucking scrub? Mataku. She sighs. Hey, boy. It makes me mad. I haven't been playing around. I know I'm an amateur, but I don't think it matters right now. This is only the 5th Holy Grail War. Well, I don't fucking give a shit. There's no point in complaining about what's already happened. Yeah, you gotta repay debt. Tosaka takes a breath. This is the classic meme pose for Tosaka. I know, there's a classic meme of this exact picture, and it's like mana, it's like mana is stored in the balls, or like P is stored in the balls. It's some fucking joke about the fucking mana transfer in this game. Literally the fucking, because they fuck to transfer mana. And it's like P is stored in the balls or some crap like that. It's fucking funny. But nope. I nod. I thought so. I could tell easily, but I have to confirm, right? It's only putting flab on my mind if I tell someone that already knows about it. Well, I think that was a weird... Oh, shit. I started reading my own dialogue like that. I think that was a weird... You'll have to excuse me for a moment, friends. Alright, guys, so I'm going to end the episode off right here, because after I take this phone call, the second part of this episode is another hour and 36 minutes long, and a lot of important things happen in that hour 36 minutes, and I really feel as though it can be its own episode, just like this one was an hour 29 minutes of important content that was its own episode. So I'm gonna just split them up into 2 parts. The next episode won't have an intro like "What's up, everyone? Zayence here," whatever, because it's just a continuation of this video after I took that phone call, so it just kind of proceeds as such, but it's just so long. This episode would have been well over 3 hours if I had included it, and I just don't think you guys want that. So I'm just going to split it up into 2 parts, so you'll have another significant arc of the story in the next part, and our 36 minutes of content. So if you enjoyed this one, go ahead and drop a like, comment, sub, do what you need to do, and I'll see you in the next one. Have a great day, everyone, and peace.